Hey guys, it's Ben with design3, and today we're in the design3 office talking to Peter Hunter and John Peters of Team Krinoid. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Cool. Peter, you are the writer, composer, and sound designer.
Yes.
And you, John, you are the programmer.
Yep.
Lead and only programmer.
Yes.
So how did you guys first start playing video games, and what are some of your all-time favorites?
For me, I was just born with a Sega Genesis, and I've been playing video games ever since, just upgrading systems. All-time favorites, my favorite game it's between Silent Hill 2 and Eco.
Okay.
I just love the immersion in both those games and the uniqueness of them, and I really strive to do things like that in our games.
Cool. How about you, John?
I started playing video games back in the DOS days on computer, just playing like adventure games from LucasArts and stuff.
Right.
That's really how I got into it. So I've pretty much been playing video games my whole life, and my favorites are probably Resident Evil 4, mostly because they take just like mundane actions that you do throughout the whole game and make it fun to the point where you want to play it like 5 or 6 times over.
Right.
And also Minecraft lately has been one of my favorites, just because it really helps me to know that like people will play our games eventually, and like one person can make a game that like millions of people like.
Right. So we're talking about your game Syz E.G. Can you tell us more about it and what it is?
Do you want to?
Okay, Syz E.G is a multi-touch episodic space shooter for the iPad. What we wanted to do was just bring something new to classic genre video games by just implementing our very unique control scheme and telling a story and just basically designing a franchise of space shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We felt that there really weren't very many space shooters that had stories that we liked.
Yeah.
And
Right.
there weren't very many iPad games that I played that I felt were really taking advantage of the screen themselves. Like every other space shooter that I saw on the iPad had like auto fire and like buttons and like
Yeah.
it just was controlled really clunkily.
It wasn't
and,
as
like,
fun.
It wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was playing them the whole time, I'd be like moving the ship around. It's like I want to be over here and fire down here, but I can't do that.
Yeah, not possible. You can only
So.
shoot in a straight line.
Yeah. So that was a big inspiration. Just that.
Cool. Yeah, and when I was playing it, I kind of brought back memories of Star Fox.
Yeah.
I think because of
Definitely.
like the little talking
Yeah,
icons,
we were definitely
which was
inspired by
great.
that.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
nostalgic for me,
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people who want to get started making their own video games?
I would say definitely learn some coding.
Yeah.
And just start with find like a game that's really simple, like Tetris or something, and just try to make like your own version of Tetris. Like start by just copying other games that you like. But then I would also say this is something that I wish I had done earlier. Syz E.G was really the first game I made from like start to finish.
Right.
And I made that my senior year of college, and I really wish the other years of college I was making just like smaller games on the side, and like because after you've made one game you learn a lot of like lessons, like man, I wish I didn't do that, and a lot of those problems I could have avoided if I'd made games before that. So
Right.
I guess my advice is just make a lot of video games,
Mhm.
no matter what it is, just anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely make as many games as you can. Start looking at games objectively. Like ask yourself, why was this put in, like when you come up to like a block to jump in Mario, why is this block here? It's so I have to time my jump at like this point, so I have to get over the ledge or whatever. I'd also say expand like your breadth of like what you're looking at as far as games like there's the AAA titles, there's a lot of great mobile titles, like a lot of great indie games. Just expanding your breadth of vision is way important, I think, to game design.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. That brings me to the last question, which can sometimes be the hardest for people. If you had to sum up video game design and development in just one word, which one word would that be?
For me, I would. Can I give an explanation too?
Yeah,
why?
definitely.
Okay. I would say video game development's exciting because it's pretty much still at like its early days right now. I mean, you look at like how film evolved since it was invented back in like the early 1900s, and video games are really early on in their like development, and there's so much more that's going to happen like hundreds of years from now, and we're pretty much the like forefront people like making video games. So
Right.
it's really exciting, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, just from a development standpoint, I'd say perseverance. Like it's a marathon. Like and you go at it for as long. Like we were at it for over a year. Like just on Syz E.G, and like it wears on you. Like I think Alex Noisy came into our class. He's involved with Gaijin Games, which is a bit trip series. he said the last like 10% feels like the first 90%.
Right.
And I couldn't agree more. It's definitely like you have to keep going, just always keep going forward.
Yeah, but it's also very rewarding.
Yeah, when it's finally done, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys talking to us today. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.